Bob Boy says the alleged victim put forward a credible and detailed story.
The ability to articulate each and every movement of the crime, where she was, where they met, where this happened, and what he did.
And Boy says detectives just learned of this case last week.
A 7-year-old case, and we have to move forward.
Recent, and the former movie producer star was still in New York. Actress Paz de la Huerta reportedly claims Weinstein raped her.
Crews have now been searching a landfill for 2 weeks, hoping to find some signs of a missing mom. Police Chief Jerry Williams says they've yet to find any tracks of Christine Mustafa.
We're still planning on the 9-week schedule. It is hardcore manual labor in the worst of conditions.
USA Radio News.
Everyone loves liberty, so why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Stop letting others tell you what to do. Call us at 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or check us out online at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org.
Senator Elizabeth Warren talks about her and the DNC.
A new book out by the former Democratic Party chairwoman alleges Hillary Clinton's campaign actually gained significant control of the DNC's finances and strategy before last year's election. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren shares her reaction to this story.
My reaction to it is the conversation I had with Tom Perez right after he was elected to chair the DNC. I said to him, look, Tom, your number one job is to bring in Bernie and Bernie's supporters.
Scott Pringle tells us that the New York City Marathon will go on Sunday, even after last week's terror attack.
Chief Carlos Gomez says the department's increasing the number of sand trucks used to block vehicles from the marathon path.
We more than doubled our observation teams, our rooftop observation posts, as well as our counter-sniper teams.
Through all 5 boroughs, and there will be more heavy weapons teams and canine units. The increase will supplement the already large number of police officers folks will see along the route.
There will also be officers attired in civilian attire and plain clothes that you won't see. They'll be mixing in with the crowds.
And Gomez reminds spectators,
if you see something, say something, tell an officer.
Security will be tighter than ever before for the event. The event was canceled 5 years ago due to Superstorm Sandy. You're listening to USA Radio News, and I'm Rod Williams Stoll.
When did your light bulb go off? We're talking about that idea you have for a new product or app. Listen, if you want to make your idea a priority, but you don't know how to get it off the ground, you call Davison, the one company with over 25 years experience and exclusive process that turns ideas into products and apps that are found in retail stores and online. Our team has helped tens of thousands of people, just like you.
Network.
And a very pleasant 6 minutes after the hour. We are here. Tiger. It was great because when it was time to leave, everyone knew it. They just, okay, we had the food, the wedding, it was time to go. So we had a good time. In detail, later on, of course, with Cara. Want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly. And she's shaking her head, so that's good. John, you had a great week. I understand that everything's up to date and things in your world are fantastic. And why shouldn't they be?
I have nothing else to say. You know, the weather's changed here in Southern California.
Oh, my gosh.
We went from 106, and I was at work the other day, and I was thinking, you know, today is 40 degrees cooler than the week previous.
The week previous. Now, what does that mean to plants? They're freaking out now a little bit, right?
Well, you know, plants want to, even in warm areas like Southern California, plants want to go dormant. In colder areas, in the northern climates, there's no problem. They understand what's going on. Right. You know, they're getting frost. Matter of fact, my brother and sister-in-law were out here when it was really hot.
Right. It was good to see them, by the way, Dave and Gabe.
Yeah, and
a lot of fun.
They said when they got home that plants they had out on the deck had been nipped by the frost. House-type plants, so they had to bring them in. But here, to go from 106 to 66 in 1 week, it's
brutal.
It is brutal. So there's some things that we need to do to help plants go dormant. One is on roses. You know, obviously, if it's been temperatures near 100, that they're actively growing.
Sure.
And they're flowering. But what you want to do now with roses is don't cut off the dead flowers.
Okay.
As the flowers fade, let the roses set hips. And that tells the plant, okay, we're done. Because you know how plants are, Brian. Basically, they only want to do one thing, and that's reproduce.
Yeah, that's all they want to do. That's what they're...
That's right. Jerry wrote a book, Plants Are Like People. So. But that's all they want to do. So once they've set they've fulfilled their mission in life, and they're ready to go dormant.
Right. One quick note, Tiger, we're getting a message on the audio.
Got it.
Okay, good, beautiful. We're good. So I have to tell you, I did trim or clip off some Green Planet roses to bring into the house to put in a vase, but I've not trimmed them all the way down just so they can go dormant for the winter yet. So I can wait.
Well, yeah, but like I said, you want to let them set hips.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if Green Planet really sets hips.
It doesn't.
I
don't think so.
I never see.
Why is it that some roses do and some roses don't set hips?
Well,
because that's their seed, right?
It is, and all species roses set hips, but a lot of the hybrid roses are diploids and triploids and tetraploids, and some of them are sterile.
Cara knows about triploids. She's big on the triploids?
No, triploids.
Triploids.
Is that how they do the, flowering plums and the flowering pears and things where, you know, they set almost just a small seed fruit and not a large fruit? Is that kind of the same principle, or no, is it different?
That'd be a good thing for you to look up and maybe present a paper next week.
Present a paper. I love it.
That's your assignment for this week.
That's what you're supposed to be here for.
No. I can't
John,
do all your work for you.
John is the guru.
Yeah,
Just so you know, Cara, John is the guru in the studio.
I mentioned, you know, we're going to be talking to Cara about weddings, but I mentioned that my niece is going to be getting married in a barn.
Is she watching or listening this morning? Hopefully she's watching.
Well, you know, I sent my sister a note and said she might be interested. But since we set up a podcast, right?
Right.
Or if not, you can go back to Facebook and watch it.
Sure.
So if she misses it this morning, she can catch up. But anyway, I guess getting married in a barn is not that unusual.
People do that, huh? I guess Cara could answer to that when the time comes. You're more than welcome if you want to share the mic, and we can introduce Cara to everybody. Put that up a little bit higher for her. And good morning, Cara.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
You think we're crazy, don't you?
A little bit.
Yeah, we are. Good. So is getting married in a barn not that unusual?
Getting married in a barn is quite popular. Yes, people pay a lot of money for this. And
the enticement is just what they think they're being different, but as you say, maybe not that different because people are doing it.
I think maybe 5-7 years ago it was a little different, and now it's quite commonplace. The barn weddings are a big deal.
For the older generation, and I include myself in that, we always heard growing up, mind your manners. Were you raised in a barn?
Yeah, exactly. Or shut the door.
Yeah, so
were you raised in a barn?
There's kind of a negative connotation to that.
What'd you guys do? Get married in a barn? I mean, come on.
Exactly, right.
Behave yourself.
Exactly. You can start using that now.
But to go along with what Kara's saying, my family's from the Detroit area, the suburbs of Detroit. They all live around there. But my niece is getting married in St. Joseph because the barn that she wanted, at the price she wanted, was available there. But the one that she first looked at was $20,000 to rent the barn.
Now, let me ask you this. These are just regular barns that exist, and farmers have them, and they say, or whoever has it, and says, oh, sure, you can use my barn?
No, they move the animals out first.
They take the animals and the hay out.
And
they're converted. They're converted spaces that people
So
have
they do this
invested
on
in.
purpose.
Yes, very much so. A dedicated wedding venue in a barn.
And that's all they use it for?
Right.
Okay.
Incidentally, and John will know Traverse City area. St. Joseph is not too far off, I guess. But I had looked into, this conversation is cracking me up, because I had looked into investing in a barn.
Sure, why not, right?
Making a wedding venue in the Traverse City area.
Why not? Because it's what you do. It's all part of that.
That's
and then
it.
offer it to people.
People want to get married in barns. You got to give them what they want.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
My brother has a cottage up there on the lake.
Beautiful.
Gosh, beautiful. But you're a San Diego guy now, John, so you have a house in Fallbrook.
Most of my children are native Californians.
Yeah.
So I only have one that's
was born
native Michigander.
Native Michigander. Hey, John, how about the quote of the week here? We're going to roll into the show. Of course, that break coming up. We'll come back with Kara and delve into this. Weddings and wines this morning, and talk more about the barn weddings.
Well, there was an article I wrote in this week's newsletter about Joseph Dalton Hooker, who was a plant hunter. And I thought this quote was interesting. He said, "Plants in a state of nature are always warring with one another, contending for the monopoly of the soil, the stronger ejecting the weaker, the more vigorous overgrowing and killing the more delicate."
That's how Tiger got this position, by the way.
Well, I thought that
was the winner.
Wouldn't that make like a great HGTV series? Plant Wars.
Plant Wars. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? That's a great idea.
All right, we'll have to, Tiger, that's something else that you can work
Okay,
on.
I'll do my research on that one and present the paper next week as well.
That's actually a very good idea, because a lot of people don't really understand that. Hey, my plants, though, fared well over the heat and the temperature fluctuations. Everything is thriving, so I think I got through it.
I did too, and one of the reasons why it didn't affect us as much as it would have during the summer is that the days are a lot shorter.
Right.
So even though it got to 106, it cooled off really quickly.
Now remember, tonight we set our clocks back. You're going to gain an hour of sleep tonight. We're going to fall back. It happens just like that.
Yeah, I always save mine, though, until Monday.
You do, so you can gain those extra hours.
Yeah, I'd like to sleep in on Monday.
That's a very, very smart idea. It is 60 minutes after the hour. I'm going to come back with Kara and discuss weddings and wine, barn weddings, whatever. Questions, comments, post them right there on Facebook, because we do monitor that. You can also email us, john@gardenamerica.com. Along with Kara, I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. This is Garden America Saturday morning.
This is Joe Lample from Growing a Greener World. With the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite organic nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 3 months. The organic nitrogen is slow release and won't burn plants even during hot, dry weather. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for 90 years. Milorganite, for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases, including Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Use Summit Mosquito Dunks to kill mosquitoes before they become disease-spreading pests. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, birds, or other wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers and hardware stores.
You became a nurse for a lot of reasons. You care about people and you love taking care of them. Being a nurse is who you are. But today, many medical facilities require nursing candidates to have bachelor's degrees. So you're probably going to want to have that degree. But you work. You may have a family. How can you possibly fit getting your bachelor's degree in your already tight schedule? With the online RN to BSN Bridge program Independence University. Our online learning model helps you balance your work, your family, and your desire to move up in your nursing career. Class sizes are small and personal, and we're 100% focused on helping you through the program so you can earn your degree. An IU's online RN to BSN program is accredited by the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education. Our goal is to help you achieve your goals. Independence University's online RN to BSN program. Call now.
888-904-1986. 888-904-1986. 888-904-1986. That's 888-904-1986.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-595-6619. That's 800-595-6619. Again, 800-595-6619.
Are you married? Do you and your husband both have term life insurance? If you both don't, you should. You have a lot to protect. Call now, get a free quote for your husband, and while you're at it, get a quote for yourself too. Because you both need term life insurance. Call now. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. Rates are at all-time lows. We'll shop over 30 top-rated companies to get you the best possible rates. Term life insurance. It's the perfect way to protect the quality of your family's lifestyle. You and your husband both need term life insurance, so call now for a free quote for the both of you. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And we are back. Thank you so much. It is 21 minutes after the hour. Do want to remind people that we have a new place for our podcast, Spreaker, which I put the link on there a couple of weeks ago. I will repost that link, and we'll be adding more and more of our shows here on that Spreaker site, and soon to be iTunes, so you can go back and you can listen to those podcasts or watch us on Facebook as they continue to, I guess, keep the library of shows on Facebook for as long as we're on Facebook. So there you have it. We are back. Tiger, introduce our guest. First name's easy. I don't want to botch your last name, and then we'll talk about this topic.
So this morning we have Cara Lamorato with, is it Cara's Vineyard Weddings? Is that what we're still going by now, Cara?
Cara's Vineyard Wedding is the name of the product, yes.
Yeah, and it's a really neat way. So the way that I was introduced to Cara was she is the wife of one of my wife's coworkers, and we were on a trip to Vancouver. And we spent a lot of time together on this trip because the spouses were off doing work stuff, and we got to hang out and play. And I found out that she does wedding planning podcasts, wedding gifts, savers, things of that nature. And we started talking about some of the succulent ideas that people have been throwing out for wedding gifts and tabletops and things. And ever since then, I've been following her and seeing what she's been doing with her podcasts and with her pages. And it's a whole new trend. We were just talking about the barn weddings, and it's really becoming hot and popular. So I thought it'd be a great time to have her on and talk about, number one, what's happening in the wedding industry with trends and tips, and then also that people are bringing a lot of live plant material. They're not bringing the cut flowers in anymore. They're bringing a lot of live plant material into their wedding events to make it, I think, feel a little bit more earthy. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that, Cara?
Yeah. Also, too, there's a lot of wedding planners, but you're a little different.
Yes.
I think that's what people are curious about.
Right. Well, to that, I'll just say hello to everyone. And again, thank you so much for having
Absolutely.
me. It's really a pleasure to be here.
You can come back tomorrow. We're not going to be here, but you can come back.
So with the succulents, well, no, let me back up. I am very different than a traditional wedding planner because I don't actually work one-on-one with clients planning weddings. So I'll clarify that. I do host and produce the Wedding Planning Podcast, which goes live once per week on Wednesdays. You can find that on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, anywhere you love your podcasts. So I do wedding planning instead of one-on-one with couples. I do it on a grand scale to the entire world. Anyone who wants to listen is welcome to tune in for free. And I focus on very affordable, very common sense, very simple wedding ideas. So this is not your over-the-top six-figure budget craziness. This is, I want to get married in Grandma and Grandpa's barn. And we have $5,000, and how can we do this on a budget?
Now, $5,000, very reasonable for a wedding, obviously.
Very. You can do a lot with $5,000 for a wedding. Yeah, we can talk more about that.
I think most people are looking at, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000.
The average wedding in 2016 was over $30,000, which is average. Go to the East Coast, New Jersey, New York City, your six-figure weddings are probably the norm.
Yeah, wow.
But there are a lot of couples who are just looking to do something different, and you really hit the nail on the head. That's what I'm all about. So I do not think you need to spend $30,000 to have a beautiful, meaningful wedding.
Sure.
And that is what both my product-based business and also my podcast are really, truly centered on.
Couple quick comments here on Facebook. One's from my sister, who said, "My daughter's having a barn wedding." 2 exclamation points. And then my niece, who's the one getting married, says, "Yay, and thinking about succulents too."
Now, did you know that they were having a barn wedding, John?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if my niece is a procrastinator or if she just likes to take a long time planning, because we got to save the date for sometime in 2019.
Ooh.
That's a lot of time to
Very
plan.
proactive.
Yeah, they could build a barn in that time, couldn't they?
Absolutely.
But she's really excited about you mentioned the succulents. And I remember, that's a rather recent development, using succulents in wedding bouquets. And people always want a memento from their wedding. I know that my wife from our wedding pressed some of the flowers in a book, to try to save them. But now people are taking the succulents out of their bouquets or boutonnieres or whatever they had, just planting them so they have a living memory.
It is a living memory. I completely drink the Kool-Aid on the succulents. I love succulents, and we have multiple pots in our backyard. I'm huge on gardening, obviously, part of the reason why I'm here.
Absolutely.
But we have a succulent pot that we've just trimmed from and replanted and trimmed and replanted. And we got those succulents from a good friend's backyard 15 years ago.
See, there you go.
And they're still going. And so the thought of using succulents in your wedding bouquet or your centerpieces, the table decor, and then being able to replant those and enjoy them pretty much forever is really, really special.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's very good.
I like that idea.
And the succulents, of course, you can't go wrong. Very easy to maintain for the most part. And you've got something from the wedding.
So give us some examples of what people are doing now, Cara. So you were talking about all these tabletops and party favors and things. So I know you brought some things for us to see, but then kind of mention some exact examples now for us.
Sure. So I put together a gift guide for today's show, so we can point the listeners there to see some photos of this. Of course, it's a little bit tricky on radio to describe something like this. But one of the coolest, simplest favor ideas for anyone who has easy access to succulents. So anyone here in Southern California, they're everywhere. But anyone across the country, really, you can go to Home Depot and pick up some succulents. A wedding in 2019, you've got 2 years to cultivate your succulents, clip them, replant them, multiply them, grow them. And then a really easy decoration / gift for your wedding guests is to take a tiny little clipping of a succulent and plant it in a little pot. And that becomes your wedding favor. It's super affordable. Again, if you have succulents in your yard or in a loved one's yard, it's pretty much free. I brought some little pots that we can show the people on Facebook Live. I know that the listeners can't see them, but they're little pots that I bought at the craft store. They're 50 cents each.
That's about a 1-inch pot,
yeah,
it looks like, right?
1 inch tall, 1 inch wide on the top, and you put, I have a paper flower in it for today's sake, but fill it with a little soil and put a succulent clipping in it. You could even attach a little name tag to it, and it's a perfect little favor for your wedding guests.
You know, speaking of succulents, I know here at the radio station oftentimes we have singers or groups that come in. We have a performance studio, and we have tables on the outside where they feed the listeners and feed the people who come in. Mm-hmm. And they used to have, like, fake flowers or cut flowers. And I've noticed lately they've gone to succulents.
Yeah.
Somebody got the idea that, hey, we can keep using these again, and they're going to be good for a long time.
Yep.
Just exactly, what you're talking about. So if I came to you, well, the music says we're going to take a break, but I've got a question for you afterwards in terms of somebody coming to you right off the bat and saying, hey, help me. You can give us in detail exactly what it is that you do and don't do.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, right there on Facebook for Cara, our guest. Love to hear from you. Also, John at GardenAmerica.com. Or if you do want to call us, 855-424-9825. It is Garden America. Going to take a break, coming right back on your Saturday morning. And again, happy weekend to you.
Have you heard about Biz TV? Biz TV is the home for America's entrepreneurs, small businesses, and those who want to succeed in life. It's the first national television network committed to airing original, high-quality, educational, and inspirational programming about real business people. Small businesses drive America forward, generating 64% of all new jobs in the last decade. With over 30 million small businesses in the U.S., shouldn't you be watching Biz TV? With the right kind of ideas, motivation, and education to help fuel the next generation of business owners, Biz TV is the network you should be watching. Success stories, new ideas turned into businesses, programs full of sales tips, goal setting, how to manage, how to raise capital, and improving work-life balance. BizTV is for those who want to succeed. Visit BizTV.com and call your satellite or cable service provider to request BizTV.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow.
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-303-4607. 800-303-4607. Call now. 800-303-4607. That's 800-303-4607.
4607.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt, call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people with credit card debt. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, the first step is yours. Call Consolidated Credit now. Call 800-350-3241. 800-350-3241. That's 800-350-3241. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM19, Oregon DM80031. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number DC32.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
And we are back. Thank you so much for being there. 35 minutes after the hour. 855-424-9825. Questions, comments, or, of course, the best way these days, people seem to love posting questions, comments right there on Facebook. You can also talk to each other. We've also got a third way to do that, and that is john@gardenamerica.com. We're talking, now we've talked about, weddings and wines. We haven't talked about the wine yet, but I want to ask you a question, Cara. If I were to come to you, because I know there are things you do and don't do. Mm-hmm. So basically, what can you do for me if I'm interested? What do you not do?
So what I can do is I can share with you the totally free wedding planning podcast, which again, I mentioned is available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, wherever you love your podcast.
Keep promoting yourself. We love it.
So we have over 100 free episodes available to couples who are planning a wedding.
That's great.
So, yeah. Again, I don't do one-on-one wedding planning services. Okay. It's available to anyone who would like to listen.
So all the information is there. You don't have to pay somebody for a consultation.
No, you do not. It's totally free. And that's why I started the podcast. I wanted couples to have access to wedding planning advice and services, even if they didn't have $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 to pay a professional wedding planner.
And that's just to plan it.
That's to plan it.
Not even to do it.
No, I know.
And we talked earlier, last segment, anywhere from $30,000 to, if you go back east, to six figures for a wedding. Yep. That I mean, God love you, that's great, but you don't have to, and a lot of people don't have that money.
You do not have to spend that much money to plan a beautiful wedding. So again, that's the essence of the wedding planning podcast. That stemmed from Cara's Vineyard Wedding, which was the business I created back in 2011. Mm-hmm. And Cara's Vineyard Wedding is products that are designed to decorate your wedding day. So the vineyard comes in because my primary medium is wine corks. For a variety of reasons. I really, really like wine.
You had an excess of them laying around the house?
Between myself and my parents, we've got lots of wine corks laying around. No, but in all honesty, we're talking like wholesaling 12,000, 20,000 wine corks at a time. And that's the primary medium for the wedding decor that I design. So you've got wedding planning via the podcast, which is totally free. And then you've got this line of products that, again, I started way back in 2011.
Now, when I was looking at the line of products that you have, and the one thing, we're talking about is weddings, and they can always be kind of a stressful time for people, right? There's always timelines on things. Things have to get done at a certain time, or you have to wait until 1 or 2 days before the wedding. Well, one of the things I saw with your product line and with the succulent concept is that's something that could be done 2 months before the wedding, a month before the wedding, put off to the side, but then when the event actually comes up, they're ready to go. It's not like cut flowers, or it's not something that will expire on you, right? So,
and that's even more planning in itself.
Right. And so this is a good way to also almost relieve some of the stress on your wedding. Do you see people doing it for that reason also?
Yes, that is a great point. So one of our most popular collections is a collection of paper flowers. I love flowers, but they are very, very time sensitive.
Sure.
So you are needing to scramble around. If you're doing your own flowers, then bless your heart. You're scrambling around in the 1 or 2 days before your wedding, trying to pull all this stuff together. So I launched this line of paper flowers for that exact reason, because the couple can take care of that. You could take care of that a year ahead of time, and the flowers are done. The decorations are done. They're quite realistic looking.
Are those what you brought today? These paper
right
flowers?
Here on the table. So these are succulent flowers. For anyone who's watching live, you can see it measures about 1.5 inches wide. And it looks just like a little succulent flower, but it's paper. So again, succulents are hardy. You can use them in advance. They're a little bit sturdier than a traditional wedding flower like a rose or a peony.
Now, are those difficult to put together?
Oh, I don't myself put them together.
Okay, you buy them like
yes.
that. Okay.
I work with a trusted wholesaler I've been working with for years.
That's what I was wondering, because they looked like they were professionally done. So
they are professionally done.
So you can buy them in bulk and use them that way.
Yes.
I had a question, because I'm not quite sure I get the cork idea. I know that there's thousands of corks, but what do you use the corks for, and how do you use them?
Yep. Good. Glad you asked. So my products through Cara's Vineyard Wedding, one of the most popular products we have is a place card holder. So if you go to a wedding, think of when you walk in, you find your name on a table and it tells you where to go sit down.
Right.
So Cara's Vineyard Wedding makes place card holders that are specifically designed to hold the card that has the name on it. Again, for those of you who are watching live, and you can find a link to a Pinterest board where you can see a visual of this. In this example.
Oh, now that's cool.
You've got the paper flower on top of the wine cork, which is holding up the guest name card.
Yeah, go ahead and turn that around for the camera. That's a good shot. Yeah, that's interesting. Look at that.
And then that functions as your card that tells your guest where to go sit down. It can be sent home with the guest as a gift, so you're not needing to buy a separate wedding favor, add that expense to your wedding plans. And they're pretty. I mean, they're fun. They're really eco-friendly. These are all corks that have already been made and been reused. The flowers are paper, totally biodegradable. You've got a fun little treat for your guests.
I like that idea.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And if you did want to go, even though those are paper flowers, if you did want to use the tops of little succulents, you could just hot glue them onto there.
Exactly. So what you could do in that case, and Tiger and I actually talked about this in Vancouver, he's like, ooh, you could dig out the top of a wine cork and plant a little succulent in it. How cool is that?
Well, that's
so you
taking
could
it one step further, right?
Take a little screwdriver, and again, I'll point this at the camera.
Or a drill.
A drill. Well, yeah. That sounds kind of dangerous. I'd use a screwdriver, but
John's a dangerous guy.
Yeah.
Just hollow out the top, and then put a little pinch of soil in there, and you could plant a succulent right down in. That'd be super cute.
Now, is it true?
But Tiger, you really
ahead,
could
John.
use. You don't have to. You wouldn't have to drill it out at all. You really could just take a little bit of moss, hot glue that, and the succulent right onto the top.
Yeah, definitely, like how they do the pumpkins and some of the other, and then the plant still stays alive. It still will grow. Just mist it, and it'll keep going.
I'm going to make a very old reference here. Now, is there any truth to the rumor that you got your inspiration from the song "Paper Roses"? by Marie Osmond.
What?
See, she's still thinking, and Tiger's going, "What?"
John
knows what I'm
no
talking
truth.
about.
Just so Kara understands what you're talking about. She's the one that does the Weight Watchers commercials.
Yeah. Oh, I know who she is. But never.
I didn't know who she was. It's fine. You could be on
She
it.
had Donnie and Marie Osmond. Come on, Tiger, you know that. But no, she had a huge hit song, "Paper Roses," years ago, and I got to looking at that thinking, she was ahead of her time. But you took that idea and obviously took it 3 or 4 steps further.
I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah, listen to that song, "Paper Roses."
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Very
I'm sure
cool.
it was a country crossover pop song, is what it was. Way back in the day. Way back in the day, huh, Tiger?
Yeah, way back.
What we remember as current events, Tiger reads as history. So,
as soon as it makes it into the history books is when I learn it, right?
Exactly. So how do you what have you found out by doing this? You started doing it. You had the idea. What has anything changed or new ideas developed? What have you found out, and how do people respond to this?
Oh, so much.
So many questions there,
every
right?
Single. Being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart.
Because you have to keep changing.
You need to innovate every
all the time.
single day, especially every wedding season. We're coming around, so we're in November now. Wow, that's really scary to even say out loud, but okay, we're in November.
Mm-hmm.
So engagement season is really coming up. The most popular time, the most popular window to get engaged is December, January, and February. So it's been a constant process of evolution, innovation, finding a new trend, finding something that the audience is responding well to, making adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just started selling these paper flowers as a standalone supply last year. And I did that because the demand was so high.
Really?
From my audience so I was selling the completed piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the demand was so high for, hey, we want to do it ourselves. We want to save a little bit of money, do it on our own. And that's also fun. It not only saves the money, it's fun. People love to open a bottle of wine with their girlfriends and come over on a Thursday night and play with glue guns. And it's a good time.
Nothing like drinking wine and playing with a glue gun.
Yeah. Or in John's case, he brings out the drill.
Yeah, right. I don't want to be at your party.
Yeah.
But the requests kept coming in. Can I just buy the flowers? Can I just buy the flowers? So that's, one example of how you need to kind of adjust and listen to the audience and what they're wanting from you and give it to them. But yeah, it's definitely been a constant evolution from 2011 up to today.
Now I see over there, Cara, that you have 2 pots. You've got the little 1-inch pot, and then the other looks like maybe a 3-inch pot.
I call that 2 inches, right? Double the 1.5 inches, maybe. It's a little bigger. So,
well, anyway, do they both serve the same purpose?
Yeah. So back to the project that I talked about before the break, the little succulents.
We gotta take a quick break. Don't mean to interrupt. Hold that thought. The music hit us late. We're gonna take a break and come right back.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases, including Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Use Summit mosquito dunks to kill mosquitoes before they become disease-spreading pests. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, birds, or other wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers and hardware stores.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
Are you struggling with addiction or alcohol problems? If you're depressed, drinking, need help, and the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Call the Addiction Hope and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares. Call 800-547-6533. 800-547-6533.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction Hope and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares. Call 800-547-6533. 800-547-6533. 800-547-6533.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it? Help kids in need and get a great tax donation in the process. It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
And we are back, and unfortunately had to cut you off at mid-sentence, Carl, going into the break. We had to pay some bills. Back to the pots and what we were discussing before the break to catch us up on where we are right now.
Yeah, so we were talking about the bigger size pot. John had asked about the bigger one. Again, these are they're so affordable at the craft store, and we're using the brand name is Martha Stewart. It's just acrylic craft paint. These tubes are $2 at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, wherever you buy your craft supplies. I have Tiger painting one over here right now. Careful.
I'm going to get my craft on right now. So it's pretty cool. She just put
don't paint
paint.
the studio board.
Yeah,
That's
and
all
don't paint your computer.
She just put this paint in a cup for me to be able to paint this little terracotta pot. And the pot's just a simple, clean terracotta pot. Is there anything that people need to think about when painting these pots? Is there a specific paint besides this one that you have here?
You know, you could probably use any paint, especially on terracotta. Because
like at a hobby shop, any hobby shop paint.
Oh, yeah, any kind. I love this brand has like a bazillion colors. So
and it's
I really
a water-based paint, I would imagine.
It's acrylic.
Okay.
Acrylic based, but yeah, you paint a little pot, and for 50 cents, these are cute. You can put these all over the garden, all over the house, and they have a bunch of different sizes.
You know what's really cool about this? Because a lot of people have, their kids in the wedding, at some point, and prior to the wedding, this is a great way to get them involved.
Yes, absolutely.
And they really feel like they've contributed to what the big event.
Yep. While you're drinking wine and playing with drills and corks, your kids could be painting the pots.
She's not gonna forget the drill, John.
Now, Cara, I noticed these are clay pots. Could you do the same with plastic, or do you pick clay for a particular reason?
No, you could definitely do the same with plastic. This paint will go on literally any surface, so you could use plastic pots. These are just what I found when I was walking up and down the aisles at Michael's.
Because we were talking during the break about possibly attaching a magnet to them. Maybe if you wanted to use it as a refrigerator magnet, you could use plastic, which would be a little bit lighter.
Sure.
And then glue it.
Yep, that would be a really fun gift. And we're talking about weddings, but these work awesome as gifts for neighbors.
Yeah.
Gifts for your kids' teachers. If you're looking for, this is the season. I know, again, I kind of stutter when I say it's November already. We're a little ways off from actually Christmas.
Well,
but
not according to TV and the media.
Now is the time, though, to think about doing some of these DIY projects. If you wait until December, things get too crazy. You get too backed up.
Too
There's
late.
too much going on. So you've got, say, this weekend, you've got one more weekend before Thanksgiving after this. Oh.
2 weekends.
2 weekends.
2 weekends,
yeah,
yes.
so those 2 weekends are an optimal time to be thinking about some of these DIY gift ideas. Again, they work perfect for neighbors, teachers, any service providers, anyone who you'd like to give a little gift to this holiday season.
And that's great. Tiger, you're almost done, aren't you?
I'm almost done. This is kind of a thicker paint,
yeah.
but it makes it seem like it dries quickly, and it gives it a nice coat where it looks well done.
Like it came that way.
And I'm impressed because I did it. Because that's why I don't know. I don't know if it's the paint or if it's the painter, but
you're impressed with your work.
I feel somebody who did this with great quality.
So much so you're going to cut your ear off at the end of the show.
Yeah. There was a question that came over on Facebook I wanted to mention to Cara.
Sure.
Is that it said a lot of people are starting to have weddings in their own home. Is there any tips for people that are doing that on how to get the house ready or on just things people need to consider when they're having it at their house?
Yes.
Well, that's a great question and a good idea.
Yeah. We did an episode of the podcast was actually devoted to hosting a wedding at home. I got married at a home. It wasn't our own home. We rented a property, but there are a lot of really special things that you need to consider. This question that came from a listener previously was specifically about the restroom situation. So if you're looking at having 100 people over to your home, that's a big thing to consider.
Dressing up your bathroom a little bit.
Well, and making sure that there are enough facilities for everybody to use. Parking is another big one. Make sure you have the parking space available, either on your street or if you're going to be doing it off-site, you've got some arrangements made to shuttle people back and forth.
And notify the neighbors. That's an obvious.
Notify the neighbors. Notify the police department.
Yes.
Give them a heads up that you're going to be hosting an event. What else? Put down floor mats.
I was just thinking that if you really want to cut back on the cost of the wedding and you're looking for a venue, there's Airbnb, right? So you just rent one of those houses.
Yeah, as long as you clean up afterwards.
Have the wedding there.
And make sure that it's the way you rented it to begin with.
Yeah. I got to do full disclosure there. You could definitely want to make sure that the property owner knows what your intention is there.
Oh, absolutely. You might require maybe a little more deposit.
Yeah. Well,
I thought there might be a flaw in that idea.
Well, it's not a bad idea if it's executed properly.
Right. Yeah, we ended up getting married at a home in La Jolla for anyone who's here locally in Southern California. But as we were shopping, we looked at a bunch of properties, and a lot of the owners were charging like a rate above the rental fee per person who was going to be there as like an insurance and a cleaning kind of a built-in little buffer towards that. So definitely don't go on vrbo.com and rent a house and like
and don't tell them what you're doing. So we're coming up to the top of the hour here. That was just a very, very quick hour. Do we want to hold Cara over a little bit next hour? What do you want to do here?
It's whatever she wants to do. If I was her, I'd want to get out as quickly as possible.
Is there anything else that people should know? Put it that way before we close.
Thank you guys again for having me.
Absolutely.
Please, everyone, I put up a link to a Pinterest gift guide that I put together. These are really good consumable gifts for your neighbors, gifts for teachers. So be sure to check that out. You can visit carasvineyardwedding.com. And again, you can check your newsletter or the comments for spelling on that. I hope everyone has an awesome holiday season.
And we've all learned a lot. And based on the feedback on Facebook, so have our viewers. We really appreciate that.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear it. And everyone feel free to reach out to me, after the show with any questions you have about your wedding or succulents or
And you put links up, Tiger. I see some links up there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of links up there. And Cara, thank you for joining us this morning. And then for those of people that haven't seen it, I'll make sure to post my picture on Facebook of the pot that I painted.
Please do, because I can take a picture during the break.
It looks amazing.
He's very proud of that pot.
Yeah,
I want you to know that.
I don't even know what I'm going to put in it, because I should probably just leave it empty, because the pot would outshine whatever goes in it.
Whatever goes in there. Nice job. He's very, very proud of his work.
True.
Cara, thank you so much, and I hope you get some more reaction based upon your appearance here on our Facebook Live Garden America. We're going to do top of the hour news. Cara, thank you so much. You can wave bye-bye to the camera.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Do appreciate it. We're going to take a break. As I mentioned, news coming up. We're back at 6 minutes after with hour number 2 of Garden America. Stay with us.
The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. Biz Talk Radio.
USA Radio News with Ron Taylor.
ZZ Top guitarist Billy Gibbons kicking off the rally for the Houston Astros yesterday as they relish in their huge win for the World Series. The enormous rally was held on the steps of City Hall yesterday afternoon, with manager A.J. Hinch saying it was a special day for everyone.
We're going to forever be linked as a championship city because of 2017. So don't forget where you were when we made that last out and we became a 2017 World Series champions.
President Trump is heading for Japan today for the first stop of a 5-nation Asia trip. The president will speak to U.S. and Japanese forces at the Yukata Air Base when he arrives tomorrow, and is expected to stress the importance of the U.S.-Japanese alliance to regional security. Harvey Weinstein is reportedly hiding out in Phoenix during his sex scandal. The movie mogul was spotted wearing a disguise at a Phoenix restaurant. This is USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot. I was one of the biggest critics of Obama in the national media. Suddenly, I was under massive IRS attack. So I hired Sam Landis. Sam did an amazing job. We won twice. I didn't owe a penny. Thank you, Sam Landis. Many of you have IRS problems, and you've spent thousands with non-lawyer tax resolution firms. Do yourself a favor. Call Sam Landis for a free consultation. Trust me, Sam Landis is the best. Sam saved my life. Call Sam at 800-WE-HELP-YOU with the letter U. That's toll free. 800-WE-HELP-YOU with the letter U. 800-WE-HELP-YOU.
Hi, my name is Kip Harridge, and I'm the founder of the Vertical Research Advisory, or VRA. After 15 years on Wall Street, I founded the VRA in 2003, my daily investment newsletter that's been crushing the market for 14 years. I tell you what to buy and when to sell and take profits, and I only target stocks that have the ability to rise by 50% or more. For the first time, we're offering a free 2-week membership. Simply go to VRAinsider.com. You also get my new book, Crash Through Prosperity, Becoming Wealthy in the Age of Trump. Join us now at VRAinsider.com.
With an update on the Republican tax bill, here's USA's Tim Berg.
Many Republicans are making the rounds today, as Speaker Ryan said yesterday the tax bill could save a family of four about $1,200. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy joined Fox News to say he hasn't heard of many Republicans who are against this plan.
I firmly believe if you look at the momentum, what's happening, the talk what I've had over in the Senate, I do not see those Republican senators coming on your show and criticizing this bill.
McCarthy also said he hopes to have a bill passed before Thanksgiving.
A 10-year-old girl with cerebral palsy is out of the hospital in Texas after being detained and put into deportation proceedings by Border Patrol agents. Rosa Maria Hernandez was stopped by Border Protection last month when she was sent to a hospital in Corpus Christi for emergency gallbladder surgery. Since Rosa Maria had no documentation, Border Patrol agents followed her to the hospital and later detained her at a child care facility. She was released to her family yesterday after the American Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Everyone loves liberty, so why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Stop letting others tell you what to do. Call us at 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or check us out online at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org.
Kroger is launching its own clothing line for the family as it fights back at Amazon-owned Whole Foods. The nation's largest supermarket chain says it'll launch an apparel brand next fall. The brand will first roll out at Fred Meyer and Kroger Marketplaces stores, totaling 300 locations nationwide. Kroger describes the clothing line as, quote, modern, playful, and simple for children, teens, and adults with a focus on activewear. Kroger is aiming to drive more shoppers to its stores as competition heats up among supermarkets. A Bronx mother is being remembered following her murder earlier this week. Those who knew Soya Feliz recall her big heart.
She was like a sister to me. She was my babysitter. I knew her since I was little. She was a very good girl. She wasn't a bad person.
A vigil was held last night for 22-year-old Feliz, who had a knife attack at her apartment Wednesday. Her 2-year-old son was home at the time but was unharmed. Darren Rose is the victim's ex-boyfriend and has been charged with her murder. Those who knew Sawyer remember a devoted mother.
She always in our house. When everybody told her that they wanted to go with her, she used to be like, no, I want to stay with my son.
Recapping our top story, the Houston Astros celebrating their World Series victory. A huge rally was held on the steps of City Hall yesterday. ZZ Top guitarist Billy Gibbons kicked things off for the rally.
Hey, 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 Astros!
I'm Ron Taylor, and this is USA Radio News.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Welcome to the Garden America radio show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
All right, we are back. It is hour number 2, 6 minutes after the hour, and I want to make sure I've got the right mics on. Everything is ready to go for hour number 2. Kara's last name again, Tiger, for those that are tuning in or like me, didn't want to botch it.
Carl Lamorato.
Lamorato, okay.
Yeah.
And that was some interesting, got a lot of interesting comments and a good idea for people. Hey, let's face it, in this day and age, people don't want to spend a ton of money for weddings, and that was a good way, a lot of helpful hints on how to do something different, fun, whether it's in a barn or at home again. So
people used to spend more on weddings because they lasted longer. So nowadays,
the marriage lasted longer.
Yeah, nowadays you don't want to.
Is what you're saying. That
you don't want to waste money for something that's.
Of course, did you spend a lot of money in your wedding? Because if you did, you got your money's worth. You've been married 40 years?
46.
46 years.
Yeah, I think it might be 44. It's somewhere around there. But I'm trying to think. I think my wife's wedding dress was $300.
Okay, today's rate, that'd be like maybe $1,200.
You know what? It might have been $90.
Okay.
I can't remember. $90.
A little different.
Well, I know $90 was how much we paid in rent for the first place we lived. It was $90 a month.
Wow.
But it was a trailer. And you had to walk through the bathroom to get to the bedroom.
Interesting. Well, you know what?
We weren't
that
there.
Is an interesting layout.
We were only there for a few months.
Well, remember, she was only 15 when they got married.
No. Come on.
Well, it's young. All I know is 16 and you were 20 or something. Or
She was 16 when we were engaged.
Okay.
She was 18 when we were married.
Now, see, they had a shotgun wedding, but in this case, it was her father with a shotgun. Yeah, exactly. Well, you met her when you were 16, so you've been together for a long time. And so what I'm trying to say is if you did spend a lot of money on your wedding, you got your money's worth, John. So good job.
Yeah, I don't think we did, though. But we did have even though her family's Finnish, we had an Italian wedding and rented a hall.
Now, I know Italian wedding, I think of the mafia, right? This is different because I know mafia
stereotyping, Bryan.
They give you money. Everyone comes by and they just hand you. Maybe I'm thinking of Goodfellas or something like that. But what is an Italian wedding?
His Italian wedding is based on movies that he's.
Yeah, exactly. So what is a basic Italian wedding? Because I really don't know.
Well, there's lots to drink and lots to eat.
Okay.
So usually have
food and wine. A lot of food and wine.
Yeah. Right. And then music, dancing.
You don't break plates. That's the Greek wedding, right?
Yeah.
Where they break the plates?
My nephew's having a Greek wedding.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to get married in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we were talking about my sister's 2 kids, and the daughter, my niece we were talking about that's getting married in 2019. The reason she's waiting so long is her brother's getting married in 2018.
Oh.
So she didn't want to rain on his parade or upstage him. So they're going to get married in Michigan, and we'll probably go out there for the wedding. But then he's going to go to Greece, and he's going to get married over there.
Oh, really? Do the real deal?
Yeah, because his wife's family is all in Greece. So that'll be interesting. But we're not doing the Greek wedding because the Greek wedding's only a couple weeks after we go to England.
England, right. Okay,
and
so that's a lot of traveling.
Right.
Yeah,
there's still time to sign up for that, too. Our garden
we should
tour
talk
in England.
about that. Go to gardenamerica.com, and on the homepage is where you'll find the itinerary.
Well, a link to the itinerary.
Link to the itinerary,
Just click on that, and you can find out what we're going to do day by day. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you are into gardening at all, you definitely want to see what we're going to be doing in England. And
if you like things that are green, too, obviously.
Yeah, it's not a traditional... usually when you think of going to England, you think of spending all your time in London or around London. Mm-hmm. And we'll be there for the Hampton Court Flower Show. It's one of the world's largest flower shows. So that'll be really exciting. I think that's 1st or 2nd of July that we'll be there. But after that, we go right out to the Cotswolds. And
heading north, going north, people, right?
Is it north?
Northwest, north. Yeah,
northwest.
It is north. Yeah,
I think it's northwest.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you think of English cottages with thatched roofs, that's the Cotswolds.
And you're probably going to say to yourself, "My, how quaint! It would be so nice to live here."
You know, the first time we went to England, our tour guide told us, don't worry if you're out for a walk and you get lost, because eventually you'll run into a pub and they can tell you where to go. And that actually happened to us. We got lost with actually Chuck and Rochelle.
Okay.
And Rochelle reminded us, just keep walking. We'll run into a pub. And we did. After about half an hour, walked into a pub.
And they gave you directions.
And they told us where we were.
Pubs everywhere, right? I mean,
yeah. Warm beer, though.
Yeah. What's your idea of warm beer?
It's probably cold there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
is it cold? Is it the same temperature?
Not in the summer.
Not in the summer, and they still have warm beer in the summer.
Yeah, but in the summertime, warm for them is like what, 75 degrees? It doesn't get that hot, does it?
It can get up into the 80s and 90s, but not. That would be like
That's a heat
unusual,
wave.
right?
Sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a warm beer, or room temperature beer, not warm.
You know what? If you had no choice, you would drink it.
I don't know.
You would drink it.
Americans are obsessed with. I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah,
obsessed with ice.
Yeah.
And Europeans not so much.
No.
Even soft drinks. You have to ask for ice if you want ice in your
Right.
soft drinks over there. At least, depending on the country. Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever you want to talk about, Tiger.
I was going to say, well, if we were done talking about the England trip, I had a question that came over via social media this week about some plants, and I wanted to answer it. And
sure.
What it was there was a listener that planted a California native garden about 6 months ago, and they were watering it with the MP rotator sprinklers. So those are the sprinklers that are on a normal pop-up sprinkler head, but rather than spraying what would we call a fan of water, they are almost fingers of water that spray. So it's a much lower flow sprinkler, but it tends to be a little bit more efficient because it gets absorbed into the soil a little bit better. You have to run them for longer, but they're an efficient way to irrigate. And the native gardens have a tendency to like that. And it was heavily mulched. And the garden was doing well for 6 months, perfectly fine. And then randomly, 1 or 2 plants started dying within a week and a half, 2 weeks. And half the plant would die, and then the next week, the rest of the plant would die. I feel maybe the mulch and the watering going into this time of year was maybe too heavy, and the plants rotted out, especially if it's just 1 or 2 random plants. What can sometimes happen is, depending on where you plant it, that area can retain more moisture in the soil than other areas of the garden. And sometimes mulching will bring the mulch right up to the base of a plant. And a lot of natives do not like a lot of mulch right up to the base, and they'll rot out. So do you have any other ideas on that, John? I mean, if you're just having 1 or 2 sporadic plants die after 6 or 8 months in a native garden, it's probably overwatering.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Rot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And that was probably the exact wrong time to plant native plants, too.
That's true, huh?
Yeah, because you usually think of native plants as being drought tolerant, and they're drought tolerant when they're established, but no plants are drought tolerant as soon as they go in the ground. So we usually recommend planting native plants this time of year, or even earlier in the fall, so that they can become established over the winter months. But then also the thing you have to watch with native plants is the type of soil that they're going into, because if it's a heavy clay, that really holds a lot of water. So then they're really going to be more susceptible to root rot, and especially when you get clay and heat together, because you've got hot, humid conditions and perfect conditions for disease-causing organisms. And in clay soil, you don't have oxygen, and so you get the anaerobic bacteria, which are the disease-causing organisms. That's why it's always important to get as much oxygen in the soil as possible.
And then I think that one of the things people need to consider, too, is, like you said, the wrong time of year to plant something, also because you're watering it to get it established.
When it may need to be dormant?
Yeah. Or you need to make sure during the time of year to stop
right.
when it doesn't need as much water, because then you can start overwatering as well. So yeah, I think that it was a watering issue over on that as far as
people tend to think that the first thing you do, you got to water.
Yeah.
We've had as many people have less success because they overwater
right
certain plants, and you really have to. And basically, look at the soil. Stick your finger in the soil. I mean, you can tell if a plant for the most part needs water.
Yeah.
But I think we've had a lot of people call and have plants die because they've overwatered.
And aside from shutting off the water, any other corrective measures you think because you don't want to fertilize this time of year per se, right?
John's going to think about that after the break. How about that?
I'm going to think about it during the break.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Thank you for being
there. I'll comment
there.
on it after the break,
Okay.
maybe.
Say that again. I'm confused. Anyway, we're going to address that
insects on your roses?
after the break.
Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases, including Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Use Summit Mosquito Dunks to kill mosquitoes before they become disease-spreading pests. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, birds, or other wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers and hardware stores.
When did your light bulb go off? We're talking about that idea you have for a new product or app. Listen, if you want to make your idea a priority, but you don't know how to get it off the ground, you call Davison, the one company with over 25 years experience and exclusive process that turns ideas into products and apps that are found in retail stores and online. Our team has helped tens of thousands of people, just like you. Call now and ask for our free idea starter guide. We'll show you how to securely get started and protect your idea. Whether you have a patent or not, our process will get your idea ready to get in front of a corporation. Don't let your light bulb of an idea go out. Call Davison now for your free idea starter guide. Davison charges fees for services. 800-213-9256. 800-213-9256. 800-213-9256. Again, that's 800-213-9256.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-351-1453. That's 1-800-351-1453. Again, 1-800-351-1453.
Are you ready to leave your corporate job behind and be your own boss? Have you ever dreamed of owning a business? Do you have $50,000 or more sitting around in a 401k? If you answered yes, it's time to invest in yourself by buying or starting a business or franchise. IRS code allows you to use money in a 401k to invest in a business with absolutely no penalties or taxes. At Guidant Financial, we've helped more than 11,000 entrepreneurs invest $3 billion in retirement assets into the small businesses and franchises of their dreams. So if you've got $50,000 or more in a 401k and you're looking for a way to start a business, call Guidant Financial now for free information and to learn more. Operators are standing by for your call. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Back here on Garden America, thank you so much for tuning in. Facebook Live, love seeing you. We love to be seen. Also, obviously, on Biz Talk Radio. John at gardenamerica.com. Questions, comments, whatever direction you want to go in this morning. You can also post your questions and comments right there on Facebook Live. So go ahead, Chuck.
Before the break, we were talking about the native plants dying, and I was talking about if you're overwatering a plant, and this is kind of a general thing. If you're overwatering a plant, you obviously know it. The first step is to let the plant dry out. You want to make sure all that soil gets the opportunity to dry out, whether it's in a pot or whether it's in the ground. But then there's this fine balance you have to have, because you want the soil to dry out, but then you don't want the plant to dry out. And sometimes when it comes to overwatering, it's because the soil is staying wet, like we talked about with clay soil, or maybe a potting soil that isn't the best of quality for draining. And there's a difference between the soil drying out and the plant drying out. And so is there anything else that you can think that somebody would want to do with a plant that's being overwatered besides allowing it to dry out?
Well, the most important thing, and we'll mention it again because you can't overemphasize it, is oxygen. Because plants don't rot because they're overwatered.
Lack of oxygen.
It's lack of oxygen, because think about when it rains.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's oxygen within those raindrops, right?
Yeah, the raindrops have oxygen in them, so you can have plants that are totally flooded and sitting in a pool of water for a week or so, and they're fine. They don't rot. Or even in really extreme cases, like we talked about the rose.
The rose from the flood.
Yeah, from New Orleans
that survived
under 12 feet of seawater for about a month, and it ended up surviving.
So within the soil itself, you have to have something in there that would allow the oxygen to flow through there, right?
Right, because water doesn't rot the roots. What rots the roots is bacteria.
Right.
Disease-causing organisms usually. And those are all organisms that live in the absence of oxygen.
So you need good bacteria.
Right. And the only way to get good bacteria is to have oxygen for them to breathe.
And that automatically dismisses the bad bacteria?
I
picture a little war going on.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. If the environment is correct for the anaerobes versus the aerobes,
right?
The aerobic bacteria will always win out.
Okay.
And that's why if you're spraying soil soup products, liquid compost,
the worm teas and things like that.
Right. Yeah, but only the activated ones, the ones that have the oxygen pumped through them. Mm-hmm. If you're spraying plants and you're spraying that on the leaves of plants, that's why it'll wipe out mildew on a plant, because the aerobic bacteria are the good guys, and they'll just wipe out all the bad guys, bad fungi and bacteria.
So if you were trying to introduce oxygen into a garden bed
that was already established,
then
you need to
you
aerate the
can
soil,
do
right?
A soil soup product, something like that could be a good thing.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Hydrogen peroxide also is a good product.
Yeah,
and you dilute it down and
you
did
matter of fact,
the juju juice.
Juju juice.
What was that one?
No, he's right. What was it?
It was Kickapoo Joy Juice.
Kickapoo
Joy Juice.
Right.
that has got to be the funniest thing I've ever heard. Kickapoo Joy.
You should listen to the show more often.
No, but I'm saying, can you imagine if you're at a party, you're about an hour into the party, and people are getting kind of happy, a little buzzed, and say, "Hey, everyone, Tiger's going to bring out some Kickapoo Joy Juice." You're going to get some strange reaction. But anyway,
it's not even legal in every state, I don't think.
So back to adding oxygen to the soil.
Yeah, I was going to say a gardening tip is that if you just Google hydrogen peroxide for plants, you'll go to the hydrogen peroxide and it tells you how to mix it up and how to use it around your plants. But do you remember the product that used to be out called Oxygen Plus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that was urea oxide,
right,
where hydrogen peroxide is obviously H2O2. But the same type of thing is it gets added to the water or to the soil, it breaks down and gives off oxygen. And Oxygen Plus worked that way, and hydrogen peroxide, which obviously is much, much cheaper, works the exact same way. So that's one way. And another way would be like John and Bob's Penetrate, which is got a yucca extract in it that goes through if you have clay soils and physically loosens the clay.
It breaks it up, but it also adds oxygen at the same time? Or
well, no? As soon as the clay particles can separate,
you have room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it allows kind of pulls the air into the soil, and you get oxygen that way.
Okay.
Because that's the problem with clay, is they're really tiny particles that are bound really close together, and there's no room for air to get in.
Rick has a question on Facebook about the best time to plant bulbs. When is the best time to plant bulbs?
Depends on the bulb.
It does depend on that, right? Because it's got to be cold, and if you live in a climate that's warm, you've got to put them in the refrigerator.
Oh, you're going in a whole different direction than me. I was going to say like any time from 1 to 4 o'clock.
Yeah, well, I try to be serious sometimes. But, yeah, kind of a general question about bulbs, right?
Yeah, it does depend on the type of bulbs. Now, Rick is up in Oregon now.
Right.
So if he wants to plant spring flowering bulbs, now's the time to get all those in. If you're in warm areas like Southern California, you probably want to wait another couple weeks on tulips, Dutch bulbs, let's put it that way, tulips, hyacinths, crocus, because they require cooler weathers and they have to be refrigerated. Up in Oregon, you don't have to refrigerate your
it's
bulbs
cold
because
enough.
it gets cold enough during the winter.
Whenever I think of bulbs, I think of tulips immediately. For just
Really?
And how many?
I always think of paper whites immediately whenever I think of bulbs.
How many different kinds of bulbs are there? I mean,
how many different types of plants
are we
there?
getting into just hundreds of thousands, or I mean, what?
I don't know about hundreds of thousands, definitely tens of thousands.
I mean, people think of seeds first, but then bulbs. I mean, tens of thousands.
Paperwhite. Are you guys still selling paperwhite narcissus? Because everybody wants to have those for the holidays. Now's the time to get those in.
Yeah.
And you also need to get your vodka for those, right?
What about
keep
your
them standing up straight?
What about your rums and your?
No, just the vodka.
Just the vodka. Okay.
Yeah, what it does is keeps the leaves short, because if you've had experience starting paper whites indoors, they all grow really quick, and then they get really tall, lanky, floppy, and they fall out of the pot.
Yep.
Because usually you're just growing them in rocks with water. So if you use the vodka treatment, it'll keep those stems short, and they, like flowers, or like Tiger says, the flowers stand upright, don't fall over.
They don't flop over. And also,
Do you guys sell vodka at your store?
A little vodka section, right?
I need to get some of those little bottles and sell them alongside.
Like on the airplane.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Does Tiger know the story about how Sharon used to use Viagra?
Yeah.
You know about that, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
We're going to stay out of this conversation.
Well, no, I mean, for those that are just tuning in, I mean, people like to put, I think, aspirin, and she would put Viagra within the soil, right? Just kind of under the soil there, and it would help. No, that's not right?
Not even close.
For the flowers.
What did she do?
It was for cut roses, and it was the result. She tried it because of an experiment that was done in Israel. And
well, I'm going to try it my way and see what happens.
You know what? If you take a video of that, we can post it on Facebook.
Let's hope they keep it up there. All right, it is almost 30 minutes after the hour. Questions, comments, Facebook Live, or John at GardenAmerica.com on this crazy Saturday.
Biz Talk Radio is now available on Amazon Echo. Just add the Biz Talk Radio skills, then ask Alexa for the latest business news. You'll instantly get live, relevant information from the best business source. Biz Talk Radio. Alexa, open Biz Talk Market Tips.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Each year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many will be serious. The majority of falls happen at home, so remove things that could make you trip and install handrails to keep you steady. To learn more about the steps you can take to help prevent a fall, please talk to your doctor. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or MedicareMadeClear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to a $500,000 cash infusion. Call a NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 11ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.11ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 11ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
Are you married? Do you and your husband both have term life insurance? If you both don't, you should. You have a lot to protect. Call now, get a free quote for your husband, and while you're at it, get a quote for yourself too, because you both need term life insurance. Call now. 800-915-9658, 800-915-9658, 800-915-9658. Rates are at all-time lows. We'll shop over 30 top-rated companies to get you the best possible rates. Term life insurance, it's the perfect way to protect the quality of your family's lifestyle. You and your husband both need term life insurance, so call now for a free quote for the both of you. 800-915-9658, 800-915-9658, 800-915-9658.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370, 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is Garden America at 35 minutes after the hour, before the break, talking about bulbs, answering a couple of Rick's questions. When's the best time? What kind of bulbs, et cetera, et cetera. And you were on a little bulb tear there for a while there, Tiger.
Well, I think when we left off, we were talking a little bit about other bulbs. We were talking about
holiday bulbs, right?
Yeah.
And, I mentioned now's the time to plant Dutch bulbs, and I just realized that not everybody knows what Dutch bulbs are.
We talked about tulips in Holland.
But tulips and hyacinths, I think, are the first things that come to mind. But then there's also crocus, daffodils, narcissus. Tiger mentioned forcing paper whites. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that people are forcing this time of year is amaryllis.
Yeah, and you brought up the neat concept that is, I guess, all popular right now. I didn't know about it, was putting a wax coat on the amaryllis bulb and just letting it grow straight from the bulb. No roots, no soil, no water needed. You can just have the plant grow, because all
on your kitchen counter.
Yeah, and bulbs,
Really?
all bulbs more or less have what they need for their first year within the seed.
True bulbs.
True bulbs. Yeah. So it's completely reasonable idea to do this, and they've done some decorating. We saw some with glitter on them, different colored wax, and it's kind of a neat idea. I think that it's kind of
here we go. I can tell.
It's kind of a millennial thing to do, where hey, take this plant, put it on your counter, and just ignore it for a month,
and watch it bloom,
and then kill it and start over again.
Now I know next year in 2018, your nursery, Mission Hills Nursery, you're going to all LED bulbs, right?
Yeah.
I saw on the internet was a link to a garden website, and the title of the listing there was "The Horror That Is Wax Encased Bulbs." I guess purists aren't going to like the
exactly.
idea of
like
doing
any
that
new
to your
idea
bulbs.
when you change things like that.
Right.
But that would be a good experience. That would be fun to do. See what happens.
I'm kind of like torn in there, because we've been forcing paper whites for a long time, and there's really nothing you can do with the paper white after you've forced it. So it is kind of a trash plant. But
you really shouldn't force plants to do anything.
Really, I hear the word force them. We got to force them to do this and force them to do that.
Going to go out there with hedge trimmers, make them grow this way. Just to go a little bit further on how a bulb is a complete plant. I think we've talked about this before, but if you took a tulip bulb, it's so complete that if you slice it longitudinally.
So you can look at it inside?
Yeah, so you have two halves.
Right.
You will see the tulip flower inside the bulb.
Already. It's like I'm looking at a little fetus.
Exactly. It's there. And we used to, I think I told you this years and years ago when I worked at Frank's Nursery in Michigan, we would take some of those bulbs and we would put two colors together, and we try to cut them and match up get the exact same size bulb and then match them together.
To see what would happen, to come up with a different.
And then if the bulb would heal, that the flower stem would come up, and you'd have one side would be one color, the other side the other.
Did
color.
It work?
It did, but maybe like 25% of the time.
That's a little Frankensteinish, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's kind of fun. We always had a lot of leftover bulbs.
Fun.
That does sound like, and you know what? I think it's. I think just opening up the bulb or slicing it and looking at that little inside there, because it's all. There's the template.
Perfect.
It's ready to go. It's a design.
It's exactly ready to go. That's only true bulbs that you can do that on. You will not see that on things that we call bulbs that scientifically are not bulbs, like a gladiolus is a corm, or crocus is a corm. So you wouldn't see that in there.
Do you like taking this class every Saturday?
Exactly.
He did until he got homework.
He's got to write that paper.
That's right.
And do you have any questions?
Well,
go ahead.
Patty just came across right now and said, if the wax was too warm, would it damage the bulb? And
that's an excellent point, because it would.
Yeah, so it's got to be
Patty. Good
it's got to be
question.
that fine medium between molten wax and just kind of a wax that you could use as a dipping wax.
And the ones that we're talking about are commercially done.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've been done at the proper temperature, and I was looking online, somebody even said that they just went to their local Lowe's in Florida and bought them. So I don't know if Lowe's all over the country has them. It just happened to be the one in Florida. But apparently this is a phenomenon that started in Europe, and the Europeans became really infatuated with this. And now they're doing them. Originally, I think they came out as just red wax covering the bulb, and now they're all different colors of wax, and like Tiger said, there's glitter on them.
The same people that think of the blue glitter poinsettia or the blue glitter orchid.
The blue glitter. Do you have your poinsettias in yet?
No, not yet. It's not even Thanksgiving.
You know what? Thank you. Now, wait a minute. This is a good point, okay? A millennial way of thinking, and he agrees. In September, Walmart had Christmas trees.
Yeah.
Okay, and everything on TV now is holiday, Christmas, already. Used to be, after Thanksgiving, you get into Christmas. But I'm glad that you agree that it's a little too early. It's all about money. It's all about pushing product. It's just like, come on. So I'm wondering.
But you got to look at it from the retailer's point of view.
I know exactly what
like,
they're thinking.
You can't. the day after Thanksgiving, you can't automatically be set up ready to go for Christmas.
I understand. Mid-November is.
I mean, it takes a long time to set.
But I mean, in October and September, that's a little much.
And I'm in the process of possibly buying a new house.
Right.
So it's funny though because we could be moving in a week or two, and I'm looking for new items, but they're already the early Black Friday deals.
Yep.
And I mean, they're saying, "Oh no, Black Friday no more. It's going to be Black November, where you could have deals," kind of a thing.
Yeah, and
that's outrageous.
I get it. But now, so when would you traditionally get your poinsettias in and start selling them?
We get in Christmas trees the week before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Because there are some places that like to have them up the day after.
That makes sense.
So we have to have them in the nursery and processing and things. And then poinsettias and stuff would come in at the same time.
And how many different kinds of Christmas trees do you sell?
Fraser fir,
Douglas,
Nordman fir, Douglas fir, Noble fir, and silvertip.
Okay.
So
no Scotch pine.
No, Scotch pine.
Now,
I hate Scotch
what's
pines.
the
They're
joke
so
there?
prickly.
The Scotch pine. Why don't get the
because it's the California Christmas tree, right? I mean, it's the only real pine Christmas.
Scotch pine they sell back east.
But I mean, for California though, it's the only one that really grows here in our mountains, right? Like when you go cut your own Christmas tree farm in California.
I didn't know that Scotch pine grew in California. Maybe they do.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And that's the only one that you can go to, like those cut your own Christmas tree farms.
Aren't those usually Monterey pine that they?
They do like live, and they do Monterey pines in live, and then they also do Elderica in live.
Right.
But most of the time, when you go to those Christmas tree farms, it's the Scotch pine.
Well, the
and
Scotch
they're prickly. They're prickly pine.
Oh, so it's very hard to handle.
And they don't
things.
have straight trunks either.
No.
It's kind of a zigzag trunk. But in Michigan, that's all we sold. And as a matter of fact, I was surprised when I came out here from Michigan.
That's all you sold in Michigan, and coming from that country?
With Scotch pine.
Okay. Well, I don't think they have Noble.
No,
they don't.
They don't have those. It's not cold.
Well,
enough,
this is
not cold.
This is
mountain.
40 years ago
sure,
too.
I'm sure
so
it's different
things
now.
have changed. Yeah, if you really want a prickly Christmas tree, get a Colorado spruce. But so where was I going with this? Oh yeah, I was surprised when I came out to California how many trees were sold at garden centers out here, because at the nursery that I worked at. And I worked at one of the smaller stores in the chain, we would get in 10,000 Christmas trees. And I came out here and, you'd get in maybe 200, 300. Yeah. And I remember that all our trees from 3 foot to 8 foot were the same price.
Didn't matter what you bought.
All $3.99.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was cheap. I remember as a kid, trees. My dad paid $25 for a tree. I'm like, man, that's expensive. Wow, $25.
Now you're getting close to 100, huh?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Water.
Yeah.
There's
a question about the vodka.
Yeah. Can you read it because I don't have it up on?
Yeah, it says, can you explain the vodka with the forced pepper white, please?
So we were talking about. First off, I'll explain forcing paper whites. Kind of like what we're talking about with the amaryllis, where when you force a paper white, you're not really growing it in a medium that's conducive to the plant. So this is either, sometimes those just put paper whites in water, and you'll see the root systems grow in the water without rotting out the bulb. And then you'll see them growing it in rocks. And so it's forcing the plant to grow in some medium, but ultimately the plant dies afterwards because there's no nutrients going back into the plant during this time frame. So at the end of the season, the plant is more or less dead. The bulb is more or less dead. The vodka, what you do is when you water, you put a little bit of vodka in there to go into the plant, which brings alcohol into the plant, which is going to stunt the growth, but then also give the veins a little bit more vigor, so to speak. We'll get to more after the break.
More about that after the break at 855-424-9825, John at GardenAmerica.com. More questions on Facebook Live. We'll get to them. We have one more segment coming up. Do stay with us.
Gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite Organic Nitrogen Fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a natural, slow, and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer proven effective for 90 years, Milorganite. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Investing is a long-term process. How many times can you think of in the last decade that the stock market has destroyed retirement funds for people just like you and me? For your existing IRA, you need the security that gold has provided for centuries. Remember, gold has never been worth zero. Capital Gold would like to introduce you to the Home Storage Gold IRA. It's a self-directed IRA set up with all the protection and tax benefits of an LLC. But the big difference in this IRA is you invest in gold and you hold it in your possession. You can't do that with stocks. That's security. You can transfer any type of IRA hassle-free in days. Please call right now and learn more, and we'll waive the $500 setup fee and give you a free safe to store your gold. Call 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. That's 800-223-0092.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow.
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-303-4607. 800-303-4607. Call now. 800-303-4607. That's 800-303-4607.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
Back here at 51 minutes after the hour, it is Garden America final segment on this Saturday morning. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. Also, Biz Talk Radio, questions, john@gardenamerica.com. And for the most part, I've been talking bulbs for the past 30 minutes or so, Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger was going to tell us the secret to well-behaved paperwhites.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll just wrap up with this. Was the question on the paperwhites was, we mentioned adding some vodka to the paperwhites. And the alcohol, doesn't have to be vodka, but, the alcohol is...
Well, it does have to be an alcohol without sugars.
Oh, that's true.
Like you couldn't use beer because the sugars are going to be harmful to the plant.
Yeah, but you can use rubbing alcohol, too. People use that sometimes. And the alcohol stunts the growth, so the foliage is shorter, which allows the plant to not be so floppy as well. But then at the same time, the flower spike has a tendency to not grow as tall either, which doesn't allow it to flop over, which means that, when you have those paper whites that you forced in rocks, some people put them in a row for like a centerpiece on their table or in a bowl or something like that. What will happen is as they grow, they'll just start to fall over, and then they have to tie them up with something decorative to keep them up straight. Well, if you add the alcohol or the water to the water, and what do you put? Like almost just like a capful.
Well, if you're going to do it at home, here's what you do is you mentioned rocks. Sometimes people use marbles. Mm-hmm. Whatever you use in the bowl to hold the paper whites, put your paper whites in and then put in plain water the way you would normally do it. And then when the shoot, the green leaves come out and they're about 2 inches tall, then you dump out that water and you replace the water with about a 5% solution of alcohol. And the way you do that, if you're using vodka, would be 1 part vodka to 7 parts water.
Right.
And replace that.
And then that's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do.
Because then that's all the water they'll probably need through the whole rest of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, if you forget, if you happen to be driving somewhere, listening to this on the radio, don't try to write it down.
Don't try to drink the vodka.
Yeah.
And don't try to make notes on your iPhone either. But you can Google that because all over the internet are directions on how to do that.
Do you have any email questions, John? They've all been Facebook today.
Not a single one.
Not a single one.
But
that is unusual.
Didn't you? Well, we do have Facebook questions. Didn't you have one for me?
Yeah.
Or didn't you have one?
The citrus
question?
Yeah,
there's a citrus question from Rick about if we're going to be selling fruit trees this year. And the short answer to that question, John, do you want to take it or do you want me to?
You can.
Okay.
Well, I think he might also be referring to deciduous trees, which we've done in the past, especially since he's up in Oregon.
Yeah, but no, we're not going to be selling. And I have a disclaimer out there because I'm a big fan of citrus fruit trees. Mm-hmm. And one of the issues that I'll tell people out there is that as from a garden center owner standpoint, we've had a huge problem getting good selections and volumes of citrus this year. I don't know.
Is it this year?
Well, it's been for the past few years. It's been a trend. And I'm really scared for the industry in the sense of what happens now is that people simplify their program. So they'll just do Washington Navel Orange, Valencia Orange, Bears Lime, Meyer Lemon, Eureka Lemon. And we're losing that variety. So we're not finding... for instance, what was that? The surprise. What was the avocado? Surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Right. SIR.
A real neat avocado from Four Winds. Uh-huh. Right. Four Winds had that one. There's all kinds of fruit out there that are really neat and exciting and fun, but we're not getting the selection anymore.
The quality has been less.
Well, there's just a shortage because, especially on citrus, because you can't ship between counties, you can't ship between states.
There's so much regulation right now.
Right, and there's so few nurseries that are growing citrus anymore.
Yeah,
that you just can't get them, depending on what part of the state.
That's the long and the short of it, then, Rick.
And also say if there is anybody out there that has a surplus of just cash and land, and they want to start a citrus.
There you go. Cash and land.
I'll support you from my nursery.
Absolutely.
I don't, it always seems to me that if there's a way to make money, that somebody's going to do it.
Mhm.
And when people are getting out of a business, it's probably because it's not a good way to make money.
Mhm. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously. It's,
Yeah. Yeah. The common joke in the nursery industry is the only way to make a small fortune in the nursery industry is to start with a large one.
The old
like buying a boat.
Takes money to make money. Yeah, with the boat, the happiest day of your life is the day you buy a boat and the day you sell a boat. Exactly. Well, that's a shame. That's not. That doesn't bode well for the future.
No, and I really hope that something changes. I love the food aspect of it because there are a lot of farmers markets now and a lot of people that are producing different food crops because they're unique and fun, and you're able to find them to some degree. But it's really hard to find them even on a medium-sized commercial scale right now. And so I hope that something changes in the near future where citrus growers can get their quantities back up and then their selection back up.
You know what the next big thing is going to be in citrus for citrus growing areas is going to be the different colored finger limes.
Oh,
the yellows and the reds and the pinks and all those things, which are really big in Australia right now, but so far not so much in the U.S.
Probably because they can't get it here.
Yeah, they haven't been available.
Yeah,
I know in California that stuff has to be quarantined. Over at UC Riverside, and then citrus growers can get clean budwood from there.
Oh.
But yeah, so no, we won't be selling
for all those
trees.
reasons that we just mentioned.
Yeah, tough.
Well, the deciduous trees are tough too because you have to take pre-orders because we were shipping those bare root, and you have a real short window in order to sell them. But the nice thing about when we were able to do that is, as you said, we offered varieties you couldn't find anywhere locally. And there's so many cool varieties.
Yeah.
There was I'm trying to think, there was a book out called The Apples of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read that, Tiger? Or did you see the movie?
Man, that was on my list.
The Apples of New York, the Big Apple. Right?
I'm trying to
the
think.
apple of my eye.
Trying to think. But it had several thousand varieties of apples.
Wow.
I'm going to have to look this up.
Yeah, because that's amazing.
Yeah,
Well,
it might not even be true.
Hey, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for tuning into Facebook Live. Going to get some more podcast up on Streaker. I'll put the link in on Facebook, and John will also include that link coming up soon in the newsletter. Go to our website, gardenamerica.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Also, check out the itinerary for England. For the entire crew, of course, Tiger, John, myself, Bryan. Thank you so much, Brandon, the guys back at Biz Talk Radio. Have a good one, and get growing America.